What if the biggest difference between those who build lasting wealth and those who spend their lives chasing it has nothing to do with luck, talent, or even opportunity? What if wealth begins in a place no one can see? Not in your bank account, not in your job title, not in your business, but in your mind. Every day, millions of people wake up with goals, dreams, and ambitions. They promise themselves this will be the year everything changes. They work harder, they stay busier, they fill their schedules with endless tasks. Yet somehow, they remain stuck in the same financial cycle. Why? Because most people try to change their income before they change their thinking. And that changes everything. One of the greatest personal development teachers of all time, Jim Rohn, believed that success is not something you chase, it is something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped by what you think about every single day. Your thoughts create your decisions create your habits create your future. So if your financial future isn't where you want it to be, the question isn't, how hard are you working? The real question is, what are you thinking about every day? Today we're going to uncover the daily thinking routine for wealth, the mindset system that can completely transform how you see money, success, discipline, and opportunity. These are not complicated strategies. They are timeless principles that can reshape your life from the inside out. And make sure you stay until the very end, because the final lesson may be the one that changes the way you think forever. Lesson 1. Think about value before money. The fundamental mistake of the modern worker is the belief that wealth is an external pursuit, a hunt for a hidden treasure, or a lucky break in the stock market. In reality, wealth is a biological and social byproduct of value creation. When you wake up asking, "How can I make money today?" you are approaching the world with a scavenger's mindset, looking for scraps left behind by others. However, when you shift your internal dialogue to, "How can I create value today?" you transition from a scavenger to a source. Money is nothing more than a neutral scorecard that reflects the magnitude of the service you have provided to your fellow man. If you want more money, you don't chase the currency, you increase the service. This is the law of cause and effect. Value is the cause, and money is the inevitable effect. To become a person of high value, one must embrace the philosophy of constant and never-ending improvement. Consider the market as a vast ocean of problems. The more complex the problem you can solve, the more the market is forced to pay you. A surgeon earns more than a general practitioner not because they work more hours, but because they have cultivated a specialized value that is harder to replace. This requires a shift from being a consumer of entertainment to a producer of solutions. Every hour spent scrolling through social media is an hour of value you have failed to build within yourself. Every hour spent reading a technical manual, practicing a difficult skill, or studying human psychology is an investment in your personal value equity. You are your primary asset, and the dividends of that asset are paid in the currency of the realm. The concept of becoming useful is often dismissed in a world obsessed with following your passion. However, passion follows competence. When you become exceptionally good at something that people need, the world rewards you with autonomy, respect, and capital. This utility is built in the quiet moments of the morning, before the world demands your attention. By asking, "What skill can I sharpen today?" you are sharpening the axe before you go to the woods. A dull blade takes 10 times the effort to achieve a fraction of the result. When you sharpen your mind, your professional efforts become surgical. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles, because your value lens is clear. You stop competing for jobs and start creating roles that only you can fill. Ultimately, wealth is a reflection of personal development. As Jim Rohn famously noted, income rarely exceeds personal development. If a person wins the lottery and possesses a $1,000 mindset, but a $1 million bank account, the money will soon shrink to the size of the person. Conversely, if a person with a $1 million mindset loses everything, they will build it back quickly because the value remains within them. You cannot lose what you have become. Therefore, your primary job is not the task your boss gives you. Your primary job is the construction of your own character and capability. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job, and you will eventually find that your job is no longer capable of containing your potential. Lesson 2. Think in decades, not days. We live in a culture of the now. We have instant coffee, instant messaging, and high-frequency trading. This environment has conditioned the human brain to seek immediate dopamine hits, which is the antithesis of wealth accumulation. The wealthy mind operates on a different temporal plane. While the average person is worried about Friday's paycheck, the wealthy person is concerned with the trajectory of the next 15 years. This long-term perspective is the ultimate competitive advantage because it allows you to endure the boredom and the plateaus that cause everyone else to quit. Success is rarely a vertical line. It is a long, flat stretch, followed by an exponential curve that most people never stay long enough to see. Think of wealth like a giant oak tree. If you plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow to see if it has grown, you will kill the potential of the tree. Many people dig up their seeds by abandoning their investments, quitting their side businesses, or stopping their study habits because they didn't see a visible change in 48 hours. But the laws of compounding require time as their primary ingredient. Compounding is the most powerful force in the universe, but it is backloaded. The majority of the growth happens at the very end of the cycle. If you can learn to think in decades, you stop being frustrated by the slow progress of a single day. You realize that a 1% improvement every day doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Every choice you make is a vote for the person you will be 10 years from now. The book you choose to read tonight instead of watching television may not make you smarter tomorrow morning, but the cumulative effect of 3,650 nights of reading will make you an intellectual giant in a decade. The money you choose to save and invest today might only buy a dinner tonight, but in 20 years that same capital, fueled by the engine of interest, might buy your freedom. Long-term thinking simplifies your decision-making process. When faced with a choice, you simply ask, will this help the person I want to become? If the answer is no, the short-term pleasure loses its luster. You are no longer a slave to the impulses of the present moment. When you extend your time horizon, your stress levels naturally drop. Most anxiety comes from the feeling that you are behind, or that you aren't achieving enough, fast enough. But speed is irrelevant if you are headed in the wrong direction. By slowing down and focusing on the quality of your foundations, you ensure that when the growth finally comes, it is structural and sustainable. The wealthy are not just rich in money, they are rich in future certainty. They know that by doing the right things consistently over a long enough period, the outcome is mathematically inevitable. They are not gambling on the days, they are betting on the decades. Lesson 3. Think about discipline before motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are notoriously unreliable. It is easy to work when the sun is shining, the coffee is strong, and you feel inspired by a recent movie or speech. But motivation is like a fair-weather friend. It disappears the moment things get difficult, cold, or boring. Discipline, on the other hand, is a contract you make with yourself that you refuse to break. It is the ability to override the emotional brain with the logical brain. The wealthy understand that greatness is not found in grand, one-time gestures of heroics, but in the mundane, repetitive tasks that everyone else finds too tedious to maintain. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. The most critical days for your future are the days you don't feel like doing the work. These are the pivot points of a human life. When you push through the resistance of lethargy or doubt, you are doing more than just completing a task. You are strengthening the muscle of your will. Every time you honor your schedule despite your mood, you are building a reputation with yourself. You are teaching your subconscious that your word is law. This self-trust is the bedrock of confidence. A person who is disciplined is a person who can trust themselves to handle any challenge the world throws at them. They don't need to get hyped to perform. They perform because it is who they are. Consistency is the secret sauce of the disciplined mind. Consider the person who goes to the gym for 12 hours once a year versus the person who goes for 20 minutes every single day. The 12-hour person will only end up with a sore back, while the 20-minute person will transform their physique. Wealth is built in the exact same way. It is the small, disciplined acts, saving 10% of every dollar, reading 10 pages of a book, making 3 sales calls, done without fail, that lead to extraordinary results. These actions are too small to be noticed in the short term, but they are too powerful to be ignored in the long term. You don't need a massive breakthrough. You need a massive amount of small disciplines. To build this discipline, you must remove the choice from the equation. If you have to decide every morning whether or not you will work on your goals, you will eventually run out of willpower and fail. Instead, automate your discipline. Make it a non-negotiable part of your identity. Just as you don't decide to brush your teeth, you shouldn't decide to work on your future. You do it regardless of how you feel. By asking, "What must be done today?" you move from the realm of the amateur to the realm of the professional. Professionals show up every day, rain or shine. Amateurs show up when they feel inspired. Wealth is reserved for the professionals. Lesson 4. Think about ownership, not consumption. The divide between the rich and the poor is often defined by what they do with their surplus capital. The consumer mindset is driven by the desire for status and immediate gratification. When a consumer gets a raise, they immediately look for a bigger car, a flashier watch, or a more expensive apartment. They are using their life force, their time, to purchase objects that begin to lose value the moment they are acquired. This creates a treadmill effect, where the individual must work harder and harder just to maintain a lifestyle that doesn't actually belong to them. They are essentially renting a high-status life from the banks and credit card companies. Wealthy thinking, conversely, is obsessed with ownership. An owner understands that every dollar is a seed that can be planted to grow into a money tree. Instead of buying a liability that takes money out of their pocket, they buy an asset that puts money into their pocket. This could be stocks, real estate, a business, or intellectual property. The goal of an owner is not to look successful, but to be successful. Ownership provides something that consumption never can: freedom. When you own your assets, you own your time. You are no longer forced to sell your hours to the highest bidder to pay for things you've already used. You are building an engine that works, so you don't have to. True wealth is measured in time, not currency. If you stopped working today, how long could you survive? The consumer can usually survive for a month or two before the walls start closing in. The owner can survive indefinitely because their assets generate the cash flow required for their existence. This shift in perspective requires a temporary sacrifice of ego. You must be willing to look poor while you are becoming rich. You must be willing to drive the older car and live in the modest house while your capital is busy working in the markets. This is the price of entry for financial independence. Most people are too afraid of what the neighbors think to ever achieve true control over their lives. Think like an owner in everything you do. When you are at your job, don't just think about your paycheck. Think about the business as a whole. How does it work? How does it generate revenue? What are the risks? By developing an ownership mindset, even when you are an employee, you prepare yourself for the day you will own your own enterprise. You begin to see the world through the eyes of a strategist rather than a laborer. You stop asking, "What can I buy?" and start asking, "What can I build?" This mental flip is the moment your journey toward true wealth actually begins. Ownership is the only path to a life of total autonomy and choice. Lesson 5. Think about who you are becoming. At the end of the day, wealth is not a number in a bank account. It is the person you have become through the process of earning it. The money is merely a byproduct of your character, your skills, and your service. If you could take all the money away from a truly wealthy person, they would not be poor. They would simply be a wealthy person who currently has no money. Within a few years, they would have it all back. Because the traits that created the wealth, the discipline, the knowledge, the courage, and the vision are still intact. This is why the most important investment you can ever make is in the enterprise of you. Success is not something you pursue. It is something you attract by the person you become. If you want to attract a high level of success, you must develop a high level of character. This means asking yourself the hard questions. Am I becoming wiser? Am I becoming more disciplined? Do I have the integrity to do what is right when no one is looking? These internal qualities act like a magnet. The world is looking for people of high character and high competence to lead, to innovate, and to manage resources. When you focus on your growth, the opportunities don't just happen, they find you. You become the right person for the right time. Your identity is the ceiling on your results. You will never consistently perform in a way that is inconsistent with how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who just gets by, you will subconsciously sabotage any opportunity that would take you beyond that level. To change your life, you must first change your identity. You must start thinking, talking, and acting like the person you intend to be. This isn't fake it until you make it. It's become it until you have it. By changing your internal narrative from, I am trying to be successful, to, I am a disciplined, high-value individual, your behavior begins to align with your new reality. Wealth, in its truest sense, is the harmony of character and capital. It is having the wisdom to manage your money, the health to enjoy it, and the character to use it for good. As your identity grows, your capacity to handle larger amounts of responsibility and wealth grows with it. The journey of wealth is actually a journey of self-discovery. You find out what you are made of when things get tough, and you find out what you truly value when you have the power to choose. Never stop growing, never stop learning, and never stop refining your soul, because the person you become is the only thing you truly take with you, and it is the only thing that creates a lasting legacy. At the end of the day, wealth is not built in a single breakthrough. It is built in quiet moments, in early mornings when nobody is watching, in decisions that nobody applauds, in sacrifices nobody notices. It is built in your thoughts, because before wealth shows up in your bank account, it first shows up in your mindset. Every great achievement begins with a way of thinking. A disciplined thought becomes a disciplined action. A disciplined action becomes a habit becomes a lifestyle, and a lifestyle becomes your destiny. That is the real secret. Not luck, not shortcuts, not overnight success, but daily thinking. If you truly want wealth, start asking better questions every day. How can I add more value? What can I learn today? What can I build today? What can I improve today? Who am I becoming? These questions may seem simple, but answered consistently, they can transform your future. Remember this: your current circumstances do not define your future. Your daily decisions do, and your daily decisions are shaped by your daily thoughts. So beginning today, guard your mind. Feed it with wisdom, challenge it with discipline, strengthen it with purpose, and direct it toward growth. Because the life you want, the income you want, the freedom you want, is not waiting somewhere in the future. It is being created by the way you think right now. And if you commit to this daily thinking routine, one day you won't just talk about success, you'll live it.